Hello motorcycle enthusiasts. Today we are completing the carburetor of a 1982 Kawasaki KZ750. So we are assembling it together. I will show you, as always, using one chamber as an example. The others are built identically, so you can do it on your own. What do we need? I need my small Allen wrench tool. Allen screws have already been installed here. You will most likely need a Phillips screwdriver in size PH2. I have a decent selection of flathead screwdrivers in different sizes here. We need an 8mm open-end wrench. A small, powerful flashlight is quite handy if you want to take a look inside somewhere. And during assembly, a good silicone spray helps fantastically, so everything slides smoothly. And of course, you have ordered a corresponding repair kit or a gasket set for the assembly. Very important. Please check the video description in every video. If additional information about this carburetor comes up later, or if a tip comes from somewhere else, I can add it there, or if I forget to mention something. Also, because I occasionally get asked, what about these repair kits? Do you earn money from them? Those are so-called affiliate links in the video description for these kits. The nice thing is, when you click on them, without it costing you even a cent more, you support the maintenance and expansion of this channel. And you also support a really great shop with fantastic reviews. Let's start with the jets. Here we have the secondary main jet with the jet holder. We have the primary main jet and the idle air jet. They are now going to their mounting position. Beforehand, spray a little silicone spray everywhere. And I'll start with the idle air jet. This is the small, long one. It belongs in here. Please remember, when tightening it, to use a properly fitting tool and not to make it too tight. It's just a very small thread. So there's no need to overdo it. Next, I will install the nozzle holder of the secondary main jet. The main jet is still loosely screwed in here. That's how I always do it, so it can't be mixed up. This is the installation position. I screw it in, and for that, we now need the 8mm open-end ring spanner. With the ring side, I tighten the nozzle holder here. Please don't overdo it here either. It's quite a soft material. And now you can hold here and screw the main jet itself tightly at the top. And as the last jet, we have the primary main jet here. This is it. It goes in here at the front and is screwed in. I'll move my hand away in a moment so you can see here. And with that, the nozzles are already in place. Now the small plastic plug is still missing. The plastic plug seals the borehole to the idle air jet. Why does it do that? There is a bypass borehole from the nozzle holder of the main jet. That's where the fuel comes from. So it's simply about ensuring the vacuum conditions are correct. That's why this solution was chosen. A new O-ring is already on it. It was of course included in the repair kit. That's how it looks. I'm going to spray it a little with silicone now. And then the plug goes in here at this spot. So now it's sitting properly, and we'll continue with the float in a moment. We continue with the float and the float needle valve. This is the new float needle valve from the repair kit. Here the float has a small metal tongue. The float needle valve hangs on it. This is how it is threaded in here. Okay, I need to grip it properly again. Sorry. So, through here, and then forward here, like this. And here. I will also add a little bit of silicone spray, so that as long as it's without fuel, it can move well. And now the float needle valve needs to be threaded into the inlet part here, with the float carefully lowered. And this small axle that comes with it, yes, the one we pushed out with the pin during disassembly. Sorry, I wobbled there. It needs to go in here and hold the float in place. Everything should move very easily here, like this. It doesn't have a stop. It is held by these two tabs here in the float chamber, so it can't slip away. And this tab, by the way, holds the small yellow plastic plug, in position, so nothing can fall out. Yes, I've already shown you this here. The new gasket is already on. Sometimes they are a bit difficult to fit in here. Then I do it like this. I spray everything with silicone spray, and then take the lid like this and place the carburetor on. Then it can't fall out. And the silicone spray helps, if in doubt, to ensure that the seal slides properly into its groove, and that I can now correct it in the right place. There. Now, these 4 screws go in here. I'll do that now, and then it continues with the drain screw, because the gasket set includes a new O-ring for the drain screw. The drain screw is located here at the bottom end of the float chamber, and I'm unscrewing it now because I previously searched a bit to find an exploded view on the internet. That sometimes helps quite a bit to be able to assign the position of the O-rings. And I saw that there's one here. Let's take a look at it. You can see it's been quite thoroughly pressed. And the new one is already here. And I'll quickly take off the old one and put on the new one. The new O-ring is placed here. The old one had about the consistency of a cookie. And now I've sprayed this nicely with silicone spray and a bit inside here as well. And then you can reattach the drain plug. I'll do that now. And then we'll continue on the upper side with the slider and the diaphragm. So we've reached the upper side here. Inside the housing, you can see 2 air nozzles. You can go ahead and blow through them with a thin hose to check if there's a passage. From here, air is premixed at the nozzle pieces of the nozzles. And I would start here with the mixture screw. It goes in here. I've placed it here for you. In the repair kit, there was a new screw included, and on the old one, you can see the correct assembly order, namely the screw, the spring. On top of that sits a small washer and an O-ring, and to prevent it from slipping apart during assembly, I position the carburetor so that I can mount it horizontally. A bit of silicone spray in here. Now I insert the screw here, and then tighten it all the way to the stop, and then unscrew it the appropriate number of turns for the basic setting. I'll write that down for you in the video description again. And in the repair kit, there was also, it's still here on the table, we'll show you now, there was also a small plate included. In case you're wondering what it's for, it fits exactly. Now you need to come here again, please. It fits exactly in here to be able to close it. Of course, please don't do that. It has to be in there. It may be a requirement in some countries. Please don't close it, because getting this plate out in case of an emergency is of course a lot of work. So, we'll continue with the slider in a moment. So friends, here I have the slider with the diaphragm. Please make sure you have thoroughly checked the diaphragm for cracks or holes. What do I do if the diaphragm has shrunk a bit from lying outside for a long time, and it no longer fits in its mounting place? For that, I'm linking a video in the top right corner, and I'll start with the assembly here. The part load needle, which is this one, now needs to go up into the slider, right in the middle of this hole. Yes, you can see it perfectly with the collar around it. That's where it needs to go. This is how it looks then. Here it peeks out at the bottom. And now I have this fastening here that secures the needle, and I can now position it with a small pair of needle nose pliers. This is hard for you to see now. So now, there. And now it's simply screwed tight. There. And once you've screwed it tight, you can spray the assembly area in the carburetor housing with a little silicone spray. Also here, the groove for the diaphragm. And now there's a small tab on the diaphragm, and there's a corresponding notch in the housing here at the front. That's where it belongs. It's designed to work only in one position. The slide goes in here, and now the diaphragm needs to be pressed into the groove. That looks good. The diaphragm is still completely fine and intact. Not shriveled either. There. Take a moment here. It needs to be seated properly. If the diaphragm is not mounted correctly, the motorcycle won't run properly afterward. The spring goes in here. And here I have the cover. The cover has a small tab inside that holds the spring in place, so it can't slip. And now the cover goes on here, and then you just have to tighten these 4 screws, and you're done with the assembly. Very important, I am often asked, how is it actually? Can you synchronize the carburetor when it's removed? So you can't do a direct synchronization, but you can establish throttle valve synchronization. And how that works, I'll link for you in the top right of the video. So hold the cover firmly here. After all, the spring is underneath. I'm tightening it here and saying thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you liked it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, or, of course, a subscription from you. Yes, otherwise, I wish you lots of fun with the project and see you in the next video. Bye.